So with the breakdown of my video of gravity, right? I'm gonna say this just to align with everything I said about gravity. The 5 elements that's in life, right? Which one of those gravity aligns with? As a matter of fact, your 5 senses, which one of them gravity aligns with? And you would think touch, right? Because you should be able to touch gravity, right? You can't see the wind, but you feel it and you see it does things, right? So which one of your senses gravity aligns with? Your seeing, your smell, your taste, your hearing, or your touch? And anybody can tell me which one it aligns with, I'll take my video down. Which one of your senses gravity aligns with? And this is why I said it doesn't exist. Alright, so I got a question to ask, right? They say gravity exists, right? And I don't believe gravity exists off the strength of this, right? For one or two reasons. The reason I don't believe gravity exists is this, right? If you were supposed to take a fat person, right? And both of y'all was gonna jump off the roof, right? Which one will hit the ground first? The fat nigga, right? Now, if gravity exists, why do we always move the goalpost when it comes towards gravity? If gravity exists, why do we need brakes in a car? Shouldn't it not need gravity? Also, when a ship docks, whatever, right? When the ship docks, why do they throw an anchor off into the ocean for it to keep the ship in place? Granted, the water waves will make it move around and stuff like that. Why do a submarine can go down into the ocean and come back up? Also, when a person is in water, right? They float if they're on their back, and if they're straight up, they sink. If you're dead, you float, and if you're alive, you could sink. Where's the gravity in all of that? Right? Another thing why I say gravity doesn't exist. When a plane is going down, what do they always do? They always throw off the heaviest thing. Also, whenever a plane is about to ascend, they have to make sure that the plane is properly weighted. They have a certain capacity that the plane could carry and a certain capacity that is over the capacity. And what does all of that attributes to? If you actually think about it, what does all of that attributes to? If you're carrying this, basically, should it exist? Should it not exist? Why is gravity a plot hole for everybody? Why does everybody use gravity, but everybody got their own, they have their own, their own theory of what gravity is. They'll say anti-gravity. What is anti-gravity? That's an asshole, right? So, another thing I wanted to ask you, right? What's the center of gravity? Does gravity have an actual center? What is the center of gravity? Can you measure gravity? And last but not least, what is the opposite of gravity? If gravity does exist. Because in my opinion, gravity doesn't exist. All of it attributes to one thing. You learn about something in school, right? And you never actually looked into it. What is the formula for gravity? What is the breakdown of gravity? The only thing it's going to tell you that it's a force. Like, can you measure gravity? Can you see gravity? Can you feel gravity? You only feel gravity when you're being spun on a machine and it keeps you in place. But you cannot quantify it. It's none of these elements that we have around. It's like you got the opposite of tall, short, big, small. It's like you see the lightning. You see you don't see the wind, but you feel it. You cannot do that with gravity because it's just something that they made up as a plot device. If you actually think about it, you can't measure it. You cannot quantify it. So how does it exist? only thing you're going to say is a force. And everybody gobble that up, you've been lied to.